Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Kalika and you're gonna be nicer to call center staff after watching this video. Why does she know all this? This is again from back when I worked in the reservation center for this car rental company. I was just fresh out of training, probably my first week or so. After a couple of days I get more and more used to the system, but obviously still need to look up a lot of things like codes and vouchers, etc. This is when I encountered, let's call her Mrs. Doe. Next call in my line, a lady that sounds a little older, has a very high-pitched voice and speaks in a very nagging manner. I brace myself for a difficult customer. She starts dictating extremely fast but every detail I need. Me, still new and slow, have to ask her back. I can basically hear her eyes rolling, so I explain in a friendly manner that I'm new and getting used to the system and ask her to please repeat. I can hear her eyes rolling even more, but whatever. Nagging voice of Mrs. Doe repeats her order slower, and I notice that the name she's booking the car for is not her own. Well, maybe she's the wife or secretary of somebody? Whatever. During the call, she tells me in what field to put which code, from airport codes to notes to voucher number to frequent flyer, everything. She knows all the abbreviations and where on my screen I need to put it. So, while I'm surprised, I type it all in and start giving her a quote, as our script dictates. Mrs. Doe cuts me off in the middle of it. Yes, thank you, I'll book it. So I finalise the booking and she hangs up. Perfect. Sale done. Call relatively short considering I'm still learning. I turn around to my co-worker, who's been there for years, and tell her about the annoying customer I just had on the phone. After letting me describe the call, my co-worker smiles and nods. Mrs. Doe, right? Usually she books a few cars at a time. She has a business where she books cars for business people. I know she sounds annoyed, but that's just her voice. She's actually really sweet. Following this conversation, I start noticing something. Once in a while, somebody on the floor would stand up during the greeting part of the call and loudly announce into the phone, "Oh, good morning, Mrs. Doe," for everybody to hear and then sit back down to complete the order. People would give them a thumbs up or smile or something, but I don't get it. So what if she books maybe 2 or 3 cars? The day comes and Mrs. Doe gets through to me again. I'm now much faster and fully ramped up. Mrs. Doe does the thing where she dictates really fast and details everything. I write it all in, half quote, get interrupted with, "Yes, I'm booking it," and I already want to say a nice goodbye when she stops me, and she says she'd like to book a few more. Okay, sweet, I'll get closer to my sales target. So, the thing repeats with cars all over the globe. Germany, United States, Italy, France, etc. She proceeds to book 12 cars within 20 minutes. For context, 20 minutes of calls might, with a bit of luck, get you 1 sale on a normal day. From then on, I also got up and greeted her for everybody to know. I remember during my time in one of the call centers when I was working within mortgages, I had a call come through and this person was using a lot of abbreviations and mortgage terms that a lot of people wouldn't necessarily know. And it really throws you off because you're used to getting rid of jargon and simplifying things for customers. But then I later found out that this person was in mortgages themselves and that's how they knew everything. They were probably the easiest calls to deal with. Sorry mate, nothing to do with us. So I work for a company in the UK that does broadband, landline plans and mobile plans. A couple of days ago I get an older guy, possibly about 60 years old, call up, quite irritated, saying his wife's phone is broken. Oh, I do apologise. When you say broken, what do you mean? Well, when I call her it says, "This is a BT phone, the person you're calling doesn't want to talk to you." What I want to know is how the bloody hell have BT taken over my wife's line, and how am I supposed to be able to talk to her? She's with you, not BT. I'm a bit confused at this stage because of the phrasing used, my wife's phone, instead of our phone for one. Regardless, I load the account up. Right, as your wife is the only one named in the account, I'll need to speak to her. I've got the landline number here, so I'll call her in order to discuss the issue. If not, I've got a mobile number as well. Well, make sure you do it, as I can't get through to her, nor can her daughter or the rest of her family. This is absolutely ridiculous. Of course, sir. As I said, I'm more than happy to call her now and discuss this. Okay, do it then. Okay, sir, thanks very much, enjoy the rest of your day. Okay. 10 seconds of silence, with the guy not picking up the hint that I need him to end the call. Hello? Yes, hello? Is there anything else I can help with? No, I just want you to find out how BT have taken over her line. Yes, sir, I intend to. If you'd just like to end the call, I will do exactly that. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day. So the guy ends the call. As discussed, I call his wife on the landline, and here's where it becomes awkward. Calls to this number are being screened by BT Call Guardian. Please state your name, then press hash, and wait to be connected. She has a BT Call Guardian phone. What this means is that when someone calls you, you can screen the call with them having to introduce themselves, i.e., this is OP from your broadband provider, and the person on the other end can choose to accept or reject the call. It's used mainly for two reasons. Spam callers and auto-dialers can't get through to you, and you can reject calls from people you literally don't want to talk to. Essentially what's happening is that the guy's wife, if that's indeed the case, is hearing him introduce himself and is rejecting the calls. Nothing to do with us at all. Your wife just doesn't want to talk to you. I bet someday that's going to result in a very awkward conversation. What do you mean the payment's locked in? So I work for an over-the-phone insurance company. Honestly, I kind of expected a good chunk of people here will get this immediately. It's not a busy day. Surprising being that it's a Friday, I get a call from this guy. Let's call him Greg. Greg says that he wants to change the payment method he wants to use for our automatic payment plan. The name speaks for itself. We verify him and pull up his billing. He told me he'd recently changed it from a bank account that he was using for a business that he had to close because his business flopped. I'm not sure why he did that, but we'll roll with it. I see that we had a card on file, but he wanted to set up the bank account that the card is tied to for the payment plan. I was fine and dandy with that, but then I noticed that his payment originated a couple of days ago. Originating a payment is us basically sending our notice to have the payment pulled from the account that we cannot stop. I inform Greg of this and he goes, "Wait a minute." He tells me how we cannot do that because the account is closed. I understood, but we couldn't stop it, even if I call a specialist from our billing team. He starts getting angry with me because we did not send him any notice of this or apparently told him that this would happen. Bear in mind, our billing statements always say that if you need to make a change to a payment for the automatic payment plan, they have to call in 5 business days in advance. He starts going irate because he'll have to deal with a non-sufficient funds fee from us. That is essentially us trying to get back what we would lose requesting the payment from the bank. He tries saying that we're like the Veterans Association. We say that we help military and their families only to screw them over later. I, understandably, did not take this assigned motive very lightly and warned Greg that we found this to be offensive and to calm down. He then has the bright idea of reopening the account, which would cost him $1,000 to do so for a payment of $250. Even if it got tacked onto his next bill with a fee, that would still only be about $520 at the most. Greg did not have any of it because he felt we didn't deserve any more payments from him after this. He berated me before hanging up, to which I documented the account and noticed that he has not called us since he set up the policy 4 months prior. Lesson of the day. If you let robots and programs do the thinking for you, then you shouldn't be surprised when they come back to bite you in the ass. You can't fix stupid. I'm a supervisor, but still have a few people above me. One of my agents calls me over for a soup call. The customer is upset that the agent is refusing to give her a 50% refund. I tend to try to stick by what the agent has said when I get these calls. CL is crazy lady. Me with the standard supervisor introduction, what seems to be the issue? I planned a trip to Niagara Falls. It was supposed to be on the US side, but you guys booked me for the Canada side. I deserve a 50% refund for your site's mistake. I drove almost all the way there. My GPS told me I was 5 minutes away from my destination when I got to the border. I can't cross the border. That's why I wanted to book on the US side. I'm so sorry there was an issue with the trip. I see the agent has pulled up your trip information and it looks like it was a week ago. At this time, we're unable to assist with a refund. We would recommend contacting us as soon as you realize something is wrong, as that gives us the ability to assist you better. I'm not hanging up until I get something. I know I have some blame in this, so I'm not asking for a full refund, but your site shouldn't have let me book in Canada if I searched places in New York. I understand your frustration. However, our site recommends all places near your desired location in the event that you can't find what you're looking for in the exact location you're looking. In addition to this, we send you the address of where you booked when we send you a copy of the receipt, which I see we sent you a month ago. While you've been explaining your situation, I've been reviewing your account and I can see that you're a new user. As a one-time courtesy, I can offer you a coupon in the amount of your service fees to be used towards your next trip. I'll take the coupon and the 50% refund. I deserve at least that much since your site is so confusing. We're unable to provide a refund at this time. I thought you said you were a supervisor. That's correct, I am the supervisor on this floor. Well, I want to talk to your supervisor. He's not available right now, but I can have him call you back as soon as he can. Fine. I tell my supervisor what has happened, making a point to tell him that she input the address that we provided her into her GPS and still claims she didn't know she booked in Canada. My supervisor, you can't fix stupid. Also, I'm not giving her anything. I love giving entitled people to my supervisor. He tends to give people less than I would if they hadn't escalated. How would you not know that you're booking a trip that's going to make you cross the border? Maybe this is why travel agents exist, so people like this won't make these kind of mistakes. You guys are going to give me a stroke. So, I've worked several call center jobs in my life. My second to last job was for an accountant's office as an administrator, basically answering queries. Our clients were mostly independent contractors, and this included builders. The most abusive calls we got were from them. On this one day, this particular guy kept calling in and wanted to speak to our accountants. His personal tax return information had been delayed. The problem was, the accountant who was doing his return was away for the weekend. The client hadn't believed it from my other colleagues and came through to me. I don't remember exactly what was said at the beginning, beyond that he was angry and kept making noises like he was breathing in and out to keep calm, and listing other issues he had with our invoice software. I remember apologising and explaining that the accountant would be able to call him Monday morning. The client laughed derisively and said, "I won't be able to wait until Monday, my head will explode, you guys are going to give me a stroke, but clearly you guys don't give a damn." Now, this hits me hard, because at the time my granddad was in hospital from a similar problem. I took a second, then said, "I do, sir. I'm really sorry you're having these problems, but let me see what I can do to help." I proceeded to be on the phone for an hour and a half with this guy, talking him through all of his invoicing, his returns process, all the complaints he'd listed. It hit 5:30 PM, which is my finish time, then 6 PM. I was the only one left. Finally, just after 6:15, he said he was done. He apologised for his behaviour and said I'd been very helpful. I left feeling tired, but like I'd helped someone. The best bit? The next day my quality assessment coach emailed me and let me know she'd assessed that call, and I'd scored a 95 out of a possible 100. Okay, so that's all for r/Tales from Call Centers. I really hope you did enjoy it. As always, if you do want to see more content like this, then please do subscribe. My Twitter, Discord, and Patreon links are in the description, and any support is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for watching.